Hi there, my name is Faye and welcome back to the Midway. If you've been here before, you know that I love farming sim games. I played so many farming sim games last year, whether they were in demos, early access, or new releases. And today I really wanted to bring you some of my top picks for best farming sim games from 2021. And to be completely honest, I snuck in a few games that aren't farming sims too. Those games I consider to be farming sim genre adjacent because they have a lot of gameplay features that are similar to farming sim games, just, you know, without the little plants. All of these games are super fun, super addictive, and super engaging, and they fall into two categories: unreleased and early access games, and released games and cult classics. So if you want to skip ahead in the video, there will be timestamps below, and with that being said, let's get started! The first game we're talking about today will not be a surprise to too many of you. We're talking about Sunnyside from the team over at RainyGames. Sunnyside bridges the gap between traditional practices and modern influences as you find harmony in the Japanese countryside. I was super lucky to be included in the influencer alpha for Sunnyside. Not only is this game absolutely gorgeous with the landscape, scenery, and weather, but what I've said before, and I'll say countless times again, that I love about Sunnyside is how they're trying to make the farming genre a bit more realistic, but not too realistic to the point of where you're playing actual farming simulator. For example, when you grow plants in Sunnyside, you can plant them, water them, and harvest them as normal, but you can also let them cultivate into a seed-producing version of the plant if you leave them in there long enough. And I am not a botanist or anything like that, but from my knowledge, this is more realistic to how plants actually operate. Perhaps it is only a small call out to you, but there is no actual watering can in Sunnyside either. You use a hose to water the crops, which is just, it's just perfect. One of the mechanics that I also truly loved when I played the Sunnyside Alpha was the building mechanic. So depending on the game that you play, there are usually a few ways you can build things in game. You can gather resources and supplies, walk over to where you want to build something, pull out your blueprint and kind of just hammer away. Or sometimes you can hold entire buildings in your pocket and just plop them on the ground. None of these really address the fact that you're usually playing from a third-person perspective and you can see way more of the map than you would in a first-person perspective, or the fact that like you really wouldn't know how to build things if you're just this random farmer on a new island. But Sunnyside has a unique mechanic in this way. You can get a drone from the local pretty boy hero, who is also romanceable by the way, and your character will actually drive the drone from their phone, and you'll look through the eyes of the drone to lay down blueprints, and then once you lay down the blueprints, your character can just walk over and kind of plop in materials to build a building that way. Is it completely realistic? No. But is it way more realistic than some other things? Yes. And is it very engaging and very interesting to work with? Absolutely. Overall, my time playing Sunnyside and the Influencer Alpha was extremely fun, extremely rewarding. And from talking to the developer team, this team is truly passionate about their project, truly detail-oriented, and really wanting to implement all the feedback that we could give. As far as I know, Sunnyside is set to release in Q3 of 2022, and you can join the Sunnyside Discord for more information. Next on the list is a game that is not a farming simulator. I know, but please just wait. We're talking about Potion Permit. Now, I've been thinking about whether or not to say this for a while because I played so many amazing games last year and this year so far, but I think I'm just gonna say it. Potion Permit was my favorite demo of 2021. Now, I didn't play every single demo that exists in 2021, nor did I play every single demo in the farming simulator genre, but as someone who loves farming sims the most, the fact that Potion Permit, not a farming sim, is at the top of my list says a lot. In Potion Permit, you will move to the little town of Moonbury where the residents need healing. You, as a chemist with your trusty tools, a brewing cauldron, and a canine companion at your side, will need to diagnose symptoms, gather ingredients, brew potions, and cure ailments in this open-ended sim RPG. The first thing you'll notice about Potion Permit is the breathtaking pixel art. There is so much care and time put into every character customization option, your little dog, and the landscape of Moonbury and more. You'll start in a fashion similar to farming simulators, moving to a new town, but instead of being a farmer, you are a chemist with a big cauldron that might need some fixing. Instead of tending to your own farm in Potion Permit, you will have to go into the wilderness and collect supplies, herbs, and more to brew your potions and take care of the residents in Moonbury. But seriously, other than not having a farm, the gameplay loop of Potion Permit is what I would consider the perfect loop for the farming sim genre, with an emphasis on the sim. In Potion Permit, you will wake up and sometimes there will be a new patient for you to attend to. There's a little minigame to diagnose their ailment, and there's this cute Tetris-like minigame to actually create the potions too. When you're not fixing up some patients, there's a quest board in town, and there are so many NPCs to meet, and yes, some friendship/heart events too. One unique aspect of Potion Permit is this little trust meter in the upper left. As you uncover more of the plot, you'll learn that there was actually a chemist in Moonbury before you, but for some reason the residents are very distrustful of chemists this time around. Make some friends, heal some residents, and see if you can turn this stigma around. I do have a more in-depth video of the Potion Permit demo, so if you're craving more Potion Permit content like me, go ahead and give that a watch after this video. According to the Potion Permit FAQ, you cannot currently marry any of the characters in the game, but you can date them, and there are a bunch of dateable characters, so I'm going to leave you with a few character profiles because shrimping is what we do here. This is Helene. Helene is a tarot card reader and a newcomer to Moonbury. You'll find her overseeing the arcade at Yorn's Tavern. Helene is very cheeky, and I did manage to trigger some heart events with her. She very much wants you to think that she wears her heart on her sleeve, but it feels like it'll take a little bit more effort to see what's truly underneath. Luck is the other character that I was shrimping for when I played the demo. Luck is the oldest child of Garrett, working at the farmhouse. He is a hardworking, diligent, but gentle person capable of any manual labor work. While many of the Moonbury residents will be extremely wary of you when you first move in, Luck is very kind right from the start, and that just simply melted my heart, along with maybe a mountaintop little date. So yeah, that was a little bit about Potion Permit, which I consider to be, yes, I know, it's so hard to say, but the best demo I played in 2021. Next up is Sunhaven. Sunhaven went into early access in June of 2021, and I mentioned it in one of my upcoming farming simulator videos. Y'all seem to be really interested, so I bought the early access game on a whim for $25, and dang, was Sunhaven worth $25 when I first bought it in June? Yes. And is it worth the $25 now that there are countless updates and more content I haven't even gotten to yet? Yes, yes, yes. Sunhaven is a magical farming simulator where you can build your farm in relationships with townsfolk or forge ahead on a quest of magic, monsters, and dragons. Level up through a skill tree in 8-person multiplayer or adventure solo. How do I word this? Magic in farming simulators is a unique concept, but Sunhaven is not the only one to have this concept. What makes Sunhaven unique to me is not the inclusion of magic, but the magical world that you live in when you play Sunhaven. When you start Sunhaven, you have a classic farm in the town named Sunhaven, but as you progress in the story, you'll be able to unlock a literal neon monster city named Withergate, and in Withergate, you can actually unlock a rooftop farm. In the latest update, we were also able to unlock a farm in the elf city of Nelvari. I guess it's not really a city, it's kind of like a rustic foresty area. But you can literally man 3 farms of your own accord, and you have to grow different plants in every area depending on the terrain, and it's just simply gorgeous to explore and build. When you create your character in Sunhaven, you'll have to choose between human, demon, elf, angel, elemental, Amari, and Naga races. And while these are mostly cosmetic in your case, you will have countless magical skill trees to unlock and countless NPCs to meet from these different races with their own lore and backgrounds. In the world of Sunhaven, you will meet literal dragons, the first of which is Elios in the town of Sunhaven, who will give you a magical blessing. You'll be quick to learn that some NPCs have blessings and others don't, and this starts you on your questline to make sure that Sunhaven does not fall into darkness. The questline of Sunhaven is not the longest questline that you will ever find. Again, it is in early access, but I find it to be very rewarding and fun to kind of grind through Sunhaven files in different ways. And in general, the combat in Sunhaven is simple enough for a casual player to pick up, but in-depth enough where you can really experiment if you're truly loving it. Finally, we can't really talk about Sunhaven without the amazing characters in the game. There are some characters that aren't even considered to be main characters that I find to be absolutely hilarious, even though they only pop up for some side quests and don't have portraits. But of course, we need to talk about the romanceables who have the most portraits, the most art, and the most heartstrings reactions. I don't know, I can't speak. In the town of Sunhaven alone, you will meet the town councilor June, the town doctor Warnhart, and the town witch Catherine. I was already drooling out of one side of my mouth at this point, but once you wander into other towns like the monster town of Withergate, you will meet Zyla, as well as the monster prince Darius. And if these edgelords don't do it for you, then perhaps the elves in Nelvari can. Vaughn is a charismatic mage with wind magic, and Iris is an elven enchanter. At the start of early access for Sunhaven, dating these characters was a little buggy. I remember my second dates with some of the characters were just completely bugged out and I would miss them, but then the next time I spoke to them, they were like, oh, we are dating and we are in love now. And I'm like, I don't remember that happening, but those bugs are fixed now. And let me just say, if I was willing to grind through multiple save files just on the chance of triggering that second date, you will love it now that it's fixed and ready to go. Sunhaven also has a very strong and loving and growing community. I love meeting more of you whenever you see my Sunhaven review video or other things popping up. It is also a multiplayer game, which can be rare in the farming sim genre. So if you've been thinking about trying out Sunhaven, I highly recommend it. Next up is Lawmage Academy. This game is a magic school RPG where you learn spells, craft potions, make friends, and go on exciting adventures as you uncover the dark secrets of Lawmage Academy. Lawmage Academy is not a farming simulator, but I consider it to be farming simulator adjacent thanks to its gameplay mechanics that are similar to a life sim. Now, I think there are very few of us who don't enjoy a very good RPG, but my biggest qualm about RPGs is that they don't give me that homey feel of a home base to return to and somewhere where I can really grow my character and just kind of have my own little home. In Lawmage Academy though, the academy is literally your home ground. You will be sorted into a house and you'll literally have to go to class to perfect your mage skills. Well, I guess you don't have to. You could decide just to stay in your room and read a book and listen to that strange voice inside your head that no one else seems to hear. You start your adventure with a childhood friend, but as you proceed, you will make friends from different houses. Be kind to them and they might join you on your adventure, or push them away and go for a super challenging solo run. However, you are not completely protected at the academy. Your country, Magiscea, is full of wonders and requires the assistance of law mages to protect it from the threat of magical creatures. You are indeed a special student because only a few people are invited to study at the prestigious Lawmage Academy. But as your challenges grow from school bullies to suspicious teachers and supposed cult members that are literally attacking maybe teachers when you get stuck in the woods, you might not want to go it alone, at least for your first time. Now, let's be real. The premise of being a student at a magical school is not really new. We don't stand just kidding Rowling in this house. But we've seen countless stories of magical schools, whether that was in books, movies, media, games, and more. For me, I'm always down to try a new magical school game, but my attention span is kind of short. There is currently a free demo available for Lawmage Academy over on Steam. I originally started playing it on stream over on Twitch because it looked fun, but I thought it would take maybe like an hour or two. And guess what happened? I literally switched the rest of my streams for the week to only playing Lawmage Academy because it was that heckin' good. Lawmage Academy is being developed by a solo dev in the Philippines. And as a fellow Filipino myself and a lover of all things magic, I was so happy and excited to jump back into the world of Lawmage Academy every single stream. The pacing of the demo has a very nice balance between giving you enough lore information to get you hooked on the story and enough free reign and control to let you take whichever classes you want and unlock the quest in a little bit of a different order depending on what you pick. Again, I played a lot of demos in 2021, and I'm not saying that demos need to be super polished, but heck, this one really is. If you've been keeping up, you might know what's next. We're gonna take a look at some of the Lawmage Academy recruitables. So far, there are 2 released per house, and just take a look at these cuties. When I started Lawmage Academy, I started with the excitement of which house am I gonna get into? But by the time I was truly in the demo, I was screaming about how Jin is a himbo, begging Lunel to be my friend, and just waiting for my nightly calls with Alyssa. Lawmage Academy has an unnamed release date this year in 2022, and I honestly feel like I'm ripping off the developer every time I play the demo because it's just so well polished even right now. If you're ready to play hooky from your job to play Lawmage Academy for the next 30 or 40 hours, go ahead and check out the demo. Make sure that you wishlist the game too. I know it's not a farming sim, but it's a life sim that I truly love. Next up, don't be surprised, is Coral Island. Coral Island is a reimagined farm sim game inspired by the classics. Grow crops, nurture animals, and befriend the islanders. Decide whether to revitalize not only the town, but also the surrounding coral reefs. It may get tough, but stick with it because the island is ripe for change. Coral Island is set to release sometime this year, 2022, and I've made a few videos already about the Coral Island Alpha. Well, kind of about it because it's a closed alpha, so I can't tell you anything because of NDAs, but the Coral Island devs, aka Stairway Games, have kept us super up to date with developer updates every single month. They are a team based in Indonesia, and I give them a lot of credit, not just for their transparency in dev updates, But for the way that their updates kind of serve as a marketing platform too. They'll share little gifs of the bug of the month in the game and are always ready to spoil us with gorgeous art spreads. Coral Island is indeed a farming simulator. You will have your own farm and a next door town to explore and a bunch of different romanceables to date too. Personally, I'm already in love with Eva, a happy-go-lucky baker. I also feel like I'm going to fall for Raphael, who runs the local blacksmith shop along with his older brother Pablo. The way that they've just drawn his face, he just seems like such a kind and yet strong man, and I'm just like, take my heart away. Coral Island has a lot of the mechanics that we've come to expect in farming simulators, from different seasons and different crops to grow in each season, as well as different ranching animals like cows and chickens. However, in Coral Island, you can also raise llamas and luwaks. And my voice is breaking because they're just so heckin' cute. Looking back at your chicken coop, you can also raise peafowls, quails, and ducks. Okay, I need to calm down. In addition to the different animals that you can raise, there are different sorts of crops and trees, ranging from age-old classics and including different crops and trees native to Asia. In particular, I'm really excited for the durian and mango trees, as well as the dragon fruit plant. If somehow the dateable characters, the townies, the gorgeous map, and the gorgeous art, and the gorgeous farming is not enough for you, there is also an overarching plot to Coral Island. You see, your island is actually surrounded by gorgeous coral reefs, or at least they were gorgeous before litter kind of made them waste away. Dive into the ocean to restore the coral reefs by selecting a diving spot around the island. You can unlock deeper levels to explore, and while your goal should be to clean the waters and of course bring prosperity back to the greenery on your island, you might even meet a few dateable mermaids. Coral Island releases sometime this year in 2022, so don't lose hope if you're not in the alpha currently. The Coral Island community is extremely diverse and extremely large, so you'll have little difficulty making some new friends who are excited about the game. Coral Island concludes my list for unreleased/early access games, and now we're going to move into released games/cult classics. Only one of these games was released recently actually, and it's called Hi there, Editing Faye here. I know I promised to show you some of my favorite farming simulators from 2021 that are already released games, in addition to the games that we went over today, which are unreleased and or early access. But this video is getting really long, so I'm going to bring you a part 2 very soon. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and stick around here in the midway and you'll get a notification when I upload that video. Can't wait to see you there and have a wonderful day. Bye!